Well, welcome back to showing you how to put a A518 in your E-body. Well, I made up this template here, as hopefully you can tell. And what I did is I want to make it so it drops in just like the factory one did. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. And then what I did is I made it go around the transmission, you know. And so what I did is I made it, I'm going to mirror it in the front of the crossmember mount, and then mirror it on the back side of it. You see what I'm saying? I made it go around the transmission. Okay. So anyway, but I got other problems. The speedometer goes right into the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my speedometer cable and run it up to the fender, and they got a GPS conversion that you screw your speedometer cable into, and then what happens is that it converts it into a cable so that way I can use my factory dash. I'm getting to the point I wanted to change my gauges, but I thought no. So now I bought a delete for this to take it out of the tranny. Because again, here, if I don't know if I can get a better view here. So, and then also, and I don't know if it's because I got a 5.7 Hemi in here, maybe I got it backed up a little too far when I put it in here, I don't know. But I used the Holley Performance engine mounts and the mile-and-on conversion pan and all that stuff. But you can see my shifter here. See that shifter rod? That comes down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a story on converting it over to a cable, you know, instead of linkage, go to a cable all the way from the floor console, because I want to keep my factory slapstick in there. So I'm going to have to put one little hole in the floor and run the cable down, and I'm going to do a video upon that. And everybody's liking that. There's guys that are doing it. So I'm going to do a little video on that. But the cross member, we're going to do this in step by step. So anyway, what I did is, like I said, I mirrored the front and the back. And I cut around the transmission. I used a cardboard template and made the holes. You know, the 4 holes that hold the cross member up, 2 on that side and 2 on this side here. So anyway, let me pause this and I'll get off the car and I'll show you what I made. Okay, so here's the cross member I made. You know, and I started out with this piece of cardboard. I mirrored that. And I built off of that. And then I tacked. What I did is I made 2 pieces like this out of steel, 1/8 inch. Bolted them under there with the 4 bolts under there and everything. And then when I bridged across to make this, you know, I had the 2 pieces bolted on each side of that cross member mount. So basically I had one here and one here, and then I bolted it in down there, and then I made all the, I'll use this as a pointer, and all these brackets in here I made, and then I bolted this to the transmission that I made, and then I tacked it to this. I don't know if you can kind of tell what I did. I don't know. It's still wet, I think. Oh, maybe it isn't. Okay, well, let's just take it down. We'll run it over here. So anyway, direction of the car is that way. You know, forward is going that way. So now what happens is the GM mount that's bolted to the transmission will bolt through here, you know, and then this will bolt into the factory thing like the factory one did. Okay? You could cut up your factory one, but I found out if you notch this all out and all this stuff, you end up with nothing. You end up with 2 plates again, you know. Like if I, let's see. Yeah, you end up with two of these, you know, plates. Time you cut all this out, you know, and if this car could ever be converted over, I got all the parts to do it again, but I doubt if that'll ever happen. But so that's my factory cross member, and then this is my cross member that I made. So now, like I say again, I went under there, you know, where this bolts to that going across. I took one of these. Well, I made this under there, you know, and I made 2 of them out of steel, just like this out of steel. And then I went to work, and then I bolted, you know, these 2 steel ones up there, and none of this was there yet. And then I knew where I had to go. And I made this bar, you know, and so forth, and made all the connections you could see, and welded everything up, you know. So there's my cross member. It wasn't really hard to do. It was just a lot of time consuming, you know, because what made it easy was this right here, making this, you know. I made 2 of these. You can see that. 1 and then 2 over, you know. So anyway, yeah. And what I did is I measured the oil pan. I put an angle finder on the bottom of the oil pan because the Hemi's got a Moriso pan underneath it. And then I went to work and measured that to the ground as well. That way I could keep the tail shaft, you know, of the tranny, the height of it right, the angle, you know. And they usually want, what is it, 4 degrees, you know, roughly. So if this sits 4 degrees, whatever, they want the rear end to sit 4 degrees. But yeah, so everything, you know, when I measured everything, I measured it with that one and, you know, the oil pan. So now the motor's in the same position. Well, obviously the transmission must be as well. So it's all just common sense, you know. You got point A, which is these. Point B is right here, where it connects to the transmission. So I had the Chevy mount bolted on there, you know. And again, the mount that you use on the transmission is A518. And is there, okay. That's what it looks like. And then these 2 little holes that mount to the transmission, not these 2. These 2 mount, you know, to my new cross member right there. But these 2 you got to hog inward a little bit on each side, you know. I don't know if that helps you at all. But yeah, see, it's probably made in China. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, so it's 2268 is a standard, you know, mount for Chevy, and that's what you use. And now those 2 bolts are mounted here, you know. And when I built this so this is underneath now looking up. You can see if I can reach right through here. I angled this, I don't know if you can see that. So that way you can get a socket on there. And what's kind of nice about using this, those mounts, or those bolts that mount this rubber mount that goes in here, that 2268, those 2 bolts are right here. You can even take them loose. So that's kind of neat, you know. It worked out really well. So yeah, that's my transmission mount. And when I go under there and I start doing that cable thing, then I'll take a picture of it when I get it in. Right now I'm waiting for that speedometer delete to come. And then once that comes, then we'll, you know. So it kind of mirrors the factory one in a way, you know. And I was going to cut this all out and do all that. But then I thought, well, by the time you're done, you're just going to end up with this plate anyway. Because all this has to come out. I mean, all this has to be cut across here and then down here. And back up. So, I mean, I could have did that, you know. But I just thought this was more exciting. So there they both are. But you can kind of see the differences in them. You know, how much deeper this goes way down and that doesn't. So you can kind of see what you'd have to cut out. You know, all this would have to go. And then I bought some new grade 8, you know, 3/8 by 3.5 inch bolts. Some brand new ones. They're under the car right now, but 4 of them, you know. For these, you know, these 4. These are the factory ones. I kept them with the key for, with the transmission mount. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what I did. You know, you can buy this. This is $335, brand new. You know, but I got tools to make my own, so I just made my own. You know, welded everything up and looks okay, you know. And like I say, when I built this thing, though, I had a lot of gussets in here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's one here and one here, one over here, and then I went and then I you know, ran 2 gussets here. These are just drain holes I put in here. So if there's water that gets in here, it'd be like looking up at it now from underneath the car. And then I put a plate here, bridged it all the way from down to here. So if that thing breaks, I'd be impressed, you know. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe what I should do is put it in. But yeah. But it fits right up in there and everything, you know. What I do is I slide this up into place, set it, bridge it across the exhaust, and then I put the rubber mount in and tighten that up, and then I move this into place and bolt it up and bolt it to the rubber mount. Slicker than slick. So you're not beep boop boop, you know, doing all this other crap, you know. But anyway, I'll show it when it's in there. And please like and subscribe. That helps my channel out. And I'm going to try to keep on top with everything here. Now it's going out of focus again for some reason. There it goes again. But yeah, so there it is. You know, so the key is to make yourself a cardboard template if you're going to build your own. You know? So, yeah. That's the key, is to make those first 2 plates. You know? And you can mirror them the same. You can make 2 of them. You know, a steel 1/8 inch. So, I had to go 5 1/4 maximum this way and 19 1/4 this way. Maximum from the ends to the end was 19 1/4, and then the top of it to the bottom of it was right here was 5 1/4. But anyway, you got to measure that on in your car. It might be a little different than mine. I think my motor's set back a little bit, you know. But it was, I can show you that real quick here. Maybe I got the light on there yet. I gotta get down here. Here we go. But like on my car, I got that nice transmission jack from Harbor Freight, which works really awesome. They're $139. You know, so there's no hydraulics to it, so you crank that baby up there, it holds and it stays. Not with hydraulic, it could come down. And then I got the Moroso conversion pan on here, or Mylanon, pardon me, it's Mylanon. And then what I did is I measured from here to the floor with the old tran unit, didn't move the car, nothing. And then I kept that same measurement again, and then put my angle finder on here, and I kept a 4 degrees difference on it. So it's pretty simple. And then everything else bolted in. I got the starter in already, and the torque converter bolts, transmission bolts. Waiting for my dipstick tube to come. 727 one, flexible one. Then I'm going to change this over to the cable shifter, because that shifter rod, I'm concerned, is too much at an angle. I don't like that at all. Some guys are changing them over. And then there's even, I used the Chrysler Mini starter. I wish I had my flashlight with me now here, but I don't. But anyway, there's plenty of room, you know. These wires that you see here are my neutral safety switch wires and kick down cable. But yeah, there'll be plenty of room there to work with a cable. And then I'll just I'm gonna do a video on that when I install that. So if you guys want to swap it over to cable, I got a kick down cable, and I'm gonna have a shift cable. I'm kind of liking that idea, because like I say, that shifter rod there in the back, if you can see it, it's too much of an angle. I don't like it. And I don't know why. Some people seem like they don't have a problem with that. And I don't know why, because all that's in the factory position. So I took that notch out of the transmission, what I did in that earlier video, and that worked great. But there's just too much angle on that. If some people are running it that way, that's not a correct thing to do. You know, I don't know if I can get closer here. Let me see one second. Let's see. Sorry about this all, I apologize. But yeah, look at the angle that sucker's at. That's not gonna work. I'm very disappointed in that side of it. So anyway, we're gonna eliminate that, and we're gonna go to a cable. I got it all drawn up, and you know, but there's plenty of room under here to put a cable. I mean, there is good, solid, nice room. So, yeah. And if you're gonna do this on the floor like I have to, I would get one of these transmission jacks from Harbor Freight. I love it. It's on 4 casters. I mean, and that tranny, you know, that just went right up there. It's got on the other side here. You know, it's hard to do this with one hand, but let's see if I can. Now my finger's in the way. It's got a 1/2-inch drive, where you put a 1/2-inch drive socket on it. I mean a ratchet, pardon me. God darn it. Need to start drinking or something here so I can talk right. So yeah, and it ratchets up. You can use your impact, but you don't want to jam it with your impact. You want to take it down with the impact, and then when you get it close, then just do it manual with a ratchet. You don't want to start jamming that drive screw that's in there, because you'll wreck this thing. So it's even got you can tilt it, and you can put the ratchet strap across the tranny so it don't fall off. But in my case, I didn't have the room for it, so I just took my time and got it up there. So yeah, so now that's just holding until, that's the only reason why I got this still under here is because I just painted that cross member, you know, and yeah. So to make this conversion complete, I'm going to change it over to a cable, everything else will fit. Neutral safety switches, kick down cable. I gotta wire it up, you know, and I explained in that video how the wires go. And yeah, any questions or comments, you know, don't be afraid to ask. And then please like and subscribe and spread it around. I could really use the help on the channel. I'm just a common guy, you know. I don't have a special shop. I got a nice garage that I work in, and stuff like that. So yeah, you can see my myelin on pan, kinda. I wish I would have brought my flashlight, and then I ran a mini starter in here, and the 5.7 fits in here nice. I bought the conversion headers and all that crazy stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you can see there. Yeah, you can't really see them either with a flashlight, but I bought the Hearst conversion mounts. So I just hope they positioned. I was concerned at first because I thought maybe the reason why that spouter back there is kind of in the torsion bar mount, that spouter thing. I was wondering maybe these mounts were incorrect. Maybe they moved the motor forward or back too far. But no, that's not true. So it's just some people, what they do is they lower that. When they lower it, then the spouter fits and all that stuff. So, but in my case, I can't. I got to keep that drive shaft angle correct. But please like and subscribe. Any questions, I'll try to answer them. I'm sorry about the camera and all this crazy stuff here, but I apologize for that. Trying to help out as best I can. You know, we all got to try to save money in these kind of times, but yet we want to have some fun. I do a lot of charities, you know, cruises, and it's nice to see when you build something and you can help somebody, you know. That makes me feel good, and I hope it makes you guys feel good too. But please like and subscribe and share this, and I appreciate the help. That would be really great. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.